Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Is anyone out there?
We're here. I think we just muted.
Sweet. All right. Sounds good. Well, we'll give it a few minutes and we'll get started. Go here and there we go. All right. So this is a course called 36-12-3. The title came from Gary Keller. They went and they interviewed agents that were consistently closing 36 transactions in a year, and there were some patterns that showed up, and so then they went and started dissecting what those patterns were, and we're going to talk about one in particular today, which is working with what we call the Mets. And so if you're comfortable and willing, jump on, say hello, and how long you've been licensed.
Hi, I'm Gay Gardner, and I've been licensed in Kentucky 3 years.
Wonderful. Thanks for jumping on. Uh-oh. I think Nicola, you're muted. Aaron, go ahead and say hi to everybody.
Hi, I'm Aaron. I'm actually on Rebecca's team. I've been licensed like about a month.
Yes.
Good.
Finally official in the midst of COVID. I actually thought about you, Aaron. One of the most successful top producing millionaires in our office got his real estate license in 2008 or maybe 2009.
Ouch.
And so I think you're going to have a very similar story to his, where, you know, you're going to be like, what? I just got my license in the midst of a global pandemic. No big deal. All right, Nicola, do you want to say hi? Can't hear you. Nothing. Okay. All right. Well, at some point, we can use the chat box to connect. Natalie's been licensed 4 years. She's in LA. Cindy's 3 years. Wonderful. Okay. So I'm going to...
I can introduce myself. I'm Mary Lynn Garrett. I've been licensed about 2 years. I was in Illinois, but I'm new to Austin, and I'm having a bit of a trouble building a network.
Okay.
So I take any classes I can get my hands on to try to get educated and to figure out what I can do better.
Got it. I love it. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having it.
2 years in Seattle area, was assistant in Texas, not licensed here or not licensed there. Okay. Got it. And then Andy's jumping on. Welcome, Andy. My name's Rebecca, and we're going to go through a few slides today. And it's a smaller group, so it's great because if we do have questions, we'll be able to kind of pause. I plan to be with you no longer than an hour. And like I said, this is a course that in the perfect world, we'd be in a classroom together. I would have printed out this big fat binder for you. And the course will kind of explain itself in just a minute. So you need to just find out why in the world you should even be listening to me right now. So we'll talk about that for just a few seconds. So give me a thumbs up if everything's working and it says about Rebecca Del Pozo. Do you see that on the screen? Sweet. So I've been with Keller Williams since 2003. If you're not with Keller Williams, no worries. This is a class on how to lead generate and grow your business, and everyone's welcome in any of our classes. And the great news right now is everything's free because of COVID. So my entire career, I've grown up at Keller Williams, and in more recent years, I've been on the path of Keller Williams University trainer. There's over 68 different courses that have come about in the history of Keller Williams. The Keller Williams was founded in 1983 out of Austin, Texas, by a guy named Gary Keller and Joe Williams. Keller Williams. Both of them are still in real estate. Joe went the path of commercial real estate. Gary went the residential path and said, let's build a big real estate company. So he hired his first assistant, and she was trained to answer the phone. It's a great day at Keller Williams International. How may I help you? And she then asked him, you know, well, where are all your other offices? And he goes, well, this is it. And she said, we're international? He goes, well, not today. We will be. And that was one of the things that's always really attracted me to Gary Keller, is he's a visionary. So he went and he researched the top producing agents in the nation. There were, I think, 48 that were willing to share. And he wrote this book called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. We use it like a recipe book because ultimately there's patterns that show up of the most successful people in real estate. And so we read this book, we apply, our businesses grow, and I'm a product of this material. And so just a couple things about me. I love the water, and I'm Canadian, and I love to travel. And so I've traveled around the world and looked for opportunities to eat tater tots whenever I can. And I'm going to mute everybody if I'm able to do that real fast. Okay. All right. So that's my husband, Mike, and I, and these are my three kids, Antonio, Trisha, and Bella. Antonio is my 23-year-old who just bought a triplex for his first property. Super proud mom moment. And then here's our team. We serve the greater Seattle, Tacoma, Olympia area here, just south of Seattle, Washington. And there's our little map of homes sold. So if you drop your name, first name, last name, and email into the chat box, I will download it later and would love to add you to our referral network. We do a lot of business out of state. So, and we're always looking for investment opportunities. So if you can find me a duplex, triplex for under 400,000 in your market, please let me know. And in exchange, I'll give you a ride on this little boat. That's my house. You can come and visit us. So we're going to go through this curriculum together. And just so that you kind of understand a little bit about my background, this is the first real estate commission check I ever received. At the time, I didn't know it. I found out in my late 20s that I'm dyslexic, ADHD, no college degree, no contacts, no real estate experience other than buying a house from what we would call a jackwagon, because he didn't take good care of us. And I'm horrible at math and had crazy amounts of debt. And by taking these classes and literally leaning into everything Keller Williams, the story of my life has absolutely changed for the better. And this course is a big one for me. So we're going to dive into this together. And I'm going to stop my screen share and get over to our course specifically that we've got. And the working with Mets is the actual course title. And so let me make sure. Oh, we've got some more people that jumped on. Hi guys, welcome. Make sure you let us know where you're from in the world. And if you're able to give me another indication of a thumbs up that you can see my screen, it says lead generation power session 5. Wonderful. So we're going to talk about who are Mets, what's networking, how do you get referrals through your Met work, and final thoughts putting it all together. And so we talked about it a little bit already, right? Is that we're all on this path to wanting to learn and grow our businesses. And if you are someone who is a learning-based individual, then most likely you're going to fall in love with Keller Williams, because we joke that there's a class for that. There's a book to read or a class for that. And the question you want to make sure that before we officially get up, walk away from this conversation today, is what's one thing that you're going to do differently in the next 24 hours. So write that down. One thing in the next 24 hours. And then put a circle or a box next to it, or highlight it, because that's ultimately what they found, is that the people who hear something new and then can go take action immediately, and I mean literally don't even get out of your chair, as soon as you click out of this Zoom, you go take action on at least one little thing, a baby step in the right direction, you're going to grow. And it's the power of implementation. What is it that differentiates those who achieve at a high level versus those who don't? It's the speed in which they implement what it is they've learned. So if there's going to be one thing that you're going to decide you're going to go take action on after we go through this material together. So here's the visual. There's 12 sessions all together. There's the introduction, which is the power of one, and it breaks it down and it says, you are going to get wrapped up in the transactional life of real estate. And if you stay there, then you're on the roller coaster, right? It's commission sales, it's up and down. It's very volatile and stressful because you never know what kind of money you're making. If you go in, and in session number 1, we talked about validity and positioning. Who am I? What are my unique strengths and abilities? And if you need help with that, we have a tool called the Keller-Williams Personality Assessment, which I can go through with you. And it helps you go, oh yeah, those are definitely attributes that I'm proud of that make me who I am. If you can identify who you are and then identify who your ideal client is, and that way when people come in and come at you and want to work with you, you may not want to work with everybody, because your goals are going to be so specific that you'll then start referring certain parts of your business out to other people because you don't necessarily need the business. You've got so many leads coming your way. Wouldn't that be great? Thumbs up. Wouldn't that be fabulous? So much business coming your way that you're just like, I've got to refer out. Okay. Prospecting is the second session. Marketing is the third. And then how do you leverage a database? Working with Mets is first pillar number 5. Then the next one is farming, open houses, for sale by owners and expireds, agent referrals, lead conversion, and living your goals. Each session in and of itself is a class, and you don't have to take it in any particular order. So if you want more listing leads, there are activities that are proven to make your phone ring. Do you want to see one of them? It's this right here. Handwritten note card. Nothing fancy. I just got them from Target. You can buy them from the dollar store. And inside the card, it says, Dear Andersons, I'd love to interview for the job of selling your home when the time is right. Please give me a call. And I send those to expired listings, old expired listings. All states are different. Some of you can jump on the MLS and look those up. Others of you can't. And that's just an example of one thing that we found makes our phone ring, is just writing handwritten notes. And just do 2 a week. If you're not doing any right now, don't come up with some big crazy number like 20, because you'll get hand cramps and you'll give up and won't do any at all. And 2 is better than 0. So those are the strategies we're going to talk about as we go through this together. Who are Mets? Well, who isn't a Met really? Mets are those who you've met. Mets are those who you've known all your life. You collect their contact information and you feed your database. And maybe we should do this right now before we get too far along. Go pull out your phone and go to your contacts. And if you're on an iPhone, you just have to hit the letter Z right at the very end, or the number sign. Scroll down on your phone all the way down into your contacts. If you're on an Android, I don't know how to do it. So someone may need to help us. But I want you to go into your contacts in your phone. Let me stop share so I can see y'all. Okay. How many contacts do you have? Drop it in the chat. How many contacts are in your cell phone right now?
130.
130. Awesome. Thanks, Ray. 400, 447. Mine's I think tripled because of some sort of a sync between my Mac and my phone. Because it's ridiculous. It's a number that there's no way they're legit. But the reality is, you guys, if we take the numbers of how many contacts are on our phone right now, And we actually then take the lead generation strategies we're about to learn, and we can text them our personalized mobile app, or we can text them something to wish them a happy Thanksgiving or whatever. You've actually got a book of business right here in your phone. And many times you're just ignoring it, and you just need to be reminded that you've got a lot of opportunity here. Okay, so let me get over here and out of here. And okay, so I'm gonna go back to my screen share and type in current slide. So you've got Mets. These are people that you know. They're people that you worked for, people that worked for you, people that worked alongside you. And so if you're new in real estate, or if you're just needing to kind of do a bit of a reset, you got to send a launch letter out to let everybody know you're in real estate. Now, if it's been a while and you feel kind of guilty because you haven't talked to people in your world for a while, Thanksgiving is a great time to send a thank you card and just say, I'm grateful for you. Thanks for being in my life. Keep it simple, 2-3 lines max, drop it in the mail with a business card, and then just start it up again. So send a gratitude card for Thanksgiving right now. You could pick 10 people to do that with over the next week. And then one of the things we found is we send out a New Year's letter. Don't send a Christmas card. Everyone sends Christmas cards. Be a little different and just give a New Year's market update and say, what are your real estate plans in 2021? We're here to help you. So then you start to get into what we call the bullseye. There's different parts of your Mets database. The first part is your network. These are individuals you know because you either met them in person or on phone or Zoom or Facebook, and they might do business with you. The next is allied resources, a very select subset of your Met group who are in real estate related fields. So write that down, real estate related fields. These are individuals you expect either to do business with or to receive business leads from every single year, usually multiple times. And they will or they have done business with you. So a few examples of allied resources could be who? Well, who feels the rumble? Who feels that rumble of a listing before it's a listing? Typically, it's who? A handyman, a painter, a landscaper, right? It's all the little honeydew projects that haven't gotten done that all of a sudden need to. It could be the carpet cleaner. It could be the gutter cleaner. It could be the window washer. These are the people, and we're going to talk about the Homekeeper app in just a few minutes. These are people that feel the rumble of a listing before it's a listing. And what you want to do is make sure that, one, they've got a chunk of your business cards in their back pocket at all times. So send them a note card with a chunk of your business cards, or go drop off a chunk of your business cards to them. And then you've got to train them. You got to make it easy for them. You got to give them the script of what to say. So, hey, Larry, you're the carpet cleaner. So Larry, when you go clean carpets, if I give you a chunk of my cards and you ask them, oh, I'm curious, before you even go out to the property, you say, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I'm curious how come you're getting your carpets cleaned this time of year? And they say, well, it's because we're getting ready to sell our house, or we do this every year, or whatever. And if they are thinking about selling their home in the next few months, would you be willing to put my name in the hat? I'd love to interview for the job of helping them sell their home. So those are allied resources. Those are the people that are already in the real estate related field that are hearing about real estate referral opportunities. They're out there. You just got to empower them with the script and then give them your business cards so they know how to refer business to you. The next are advocates. These are people who have not only done business with you in the past and will continue to in the future, but will actively bring other people to you to do business as well. And don't think that you need like 20 of them. Normally you only got 4 or 5 of these advocates. So don't overthink it. Look back over the last few years and who are those people? Who are those clients that have put their name to you? Don't even make it about whether or not it turned into a closing. Who has put their name to you? Those are advocates, and normally you want to have 4 or 5. So if you've got a notebook handy, draw 5 circles and jot down in those 5 circles who has sent you a referral or who has put their name to you and said, "Oh, well, I don't know anyone right now, Erin, but as soon as I hear of somebody, I will definitely give them your name and number." So write down, and if you don't have 5, it's okay. Put a question mark into one of those circles and then just write the name who. And that's going to be something that we get purposeful over in the next few hours.
Okay.
Next one is core advocates. Not only can and will do business with you, but they are well placed. Owners of a sports team, executive at a large corporation, a builder. These are people that are going to send you a steady stream of clients. These could be loan officers. These could be financial planners. Now, if I could hit reset on my real estate business and go back to 2003, one of the relationships I would be so much more purposeful in are attorneys, and specifically estate attorneys. Now I realize we have different states and countries represented in the calls. So here in Washington state where I am, there's estate attorneys, right? And that's when they have property that goes through probate. And then the attorney, if the family member doesn't have a real estate agent in mind, the attorney picks the real estate agent. And so those are amazing referrals to get because you're dealing with the attorney directly, not family members. And those are incredible listings. Because at that point, you're just helping them facilitate an estate sale to sell and get it vacant. You've got your house cleaner go through, you have your stager, stage it up, photographer takes pictures, and on the market it goes. So estate attorneys is how I would really get like way more focused and purposeful. The other is financial planners and CPAs. It's weird. If your financial planner gives you some advice and they say, "No, you've got to go and talk to Julie. She's an amazing real estate agent," and you don't, the next time you see your financial planner, it's going to feel a little awkward. So the sooner that you can identify who those core advocates are, they will then send you referrals. And it's an easy conversation. So let's say Ryan is the estate attorney and I close out the year and I say, "Ryan, looks like you've sent me 3 referrals this year. Thank you so much for putting your name to me. Can I count on you for 5 next year?" Wonderful. We'll be in touch. That's it. Can I count on you for 5? And then all of a sudden you've got 5 that you're counting on for 5 referrals. And it doesn't feel weird to ask that question because you've already come from contribution. You've already been, telling your friends and family to go and talk to those particular core advocates for the loan or for financial advice or the CPA. So you're already bringing value by dropping a review on their business page, by following them on Instagram, by doing a shout out and advertising a promotion or a class or a workshop that they're hosting. So you're already one of their advocates. So in exchange, you're just asking and saying, "Can I count on you for 5 referrals next year?" All right. So this is where we did the phone contacts, right? Who are your Mets? And the whole point is that you want to grow your contacts every single day. And the easiest way to do that is with those business to business type referrals. Now, how many Mets do you need? This is going to vary. However, if you wanted to kind of use some loose numbers, the ratio is for every 12 people, you can anticipate 2 closings. So depending on your sales goal times 6 will then equal how many contacts you need in your Mets database. You don't need a big database to sell a lot of real estate. I mean, we functioned at 280 for the longest time, and we're selling 15, 16 million in volume. So it doesn't have to be this big, large, big, crazy group. So there are no limits. And I think the more people you're in connection with and touching and reaching out to on a regular basis, the more opportunity you have to serve. And that's what excites me. So what's networking? Well, the myth is if you build it, they will come. And the truth is that all businesses must drive their customers to them, right? You didn't just get your real estate license and all of a sudden your phone just magically starts ringing. You've got to go send postcards when you do a just listed or just sold and have a call to action that says, you know, congratulations, you just gained equity in your home. This home just sold for this. If you want a free market analysis, call me. Any marketing piece that you ever send out has to have very clear call to action. Same with anything you post anywhere on social media. Post something and then always ask a question or an offering that would then compel you think and go, would I pick up my phone and call this person for this information? That's what you want to be thinking about when you're posting and when you're sending things out. So we're going to talk a little bit and give some examples in a minute. Ultimately, the networking part is that people choose to do business with those they know, they like, they respect, and they remember. So whatever your background is, if you're a bartender, then most likely you can keep up a pretty good conversation with other bartenders. If your background is that you're a nurse, then you've got a sphere of influence that I don't have a medical background, so I can't communicate with those people. Like I said on the beginning of the call, I'm originally from Canada. I've lived here in the greater Seattle area for 20 years. My background was I worked at Alaska Airlines. I'm a part of former Alaska Airlines employee Facebook group. I sell houses to Alaska Airlines employees, right? So you have a story and you've got to just pause and look and go, who are the people? Am I a part of a yacht club? Am I, you know, part of a reading group? Or, you know, we get together in a quilting club. People are going to do business with you because you're you. So don't overthink it. You can get into Facebook groups online and make friends with other people. I'm a part of a dyslexic ADHD woman entrepreneur group, right? Like single moms selling houses. You can go and make friends because you've got these things in common with people. So why is it important? Well, the truth is it's not who you know, it's who knows you. And you want to have that mind share of somebody's brain so that anytime anyone is saying something about real estate, people are out there and they're saying, oh, you should call Judy. She's a great real estate agent. Here's a business card. I just so happen to have it in my purse because she always sends them to me, right? You want to be the one that people are calling and referring business to. Achieve mind share. In order to do this, you got to stay in touch. And we're going to talk about the proven system and how to do this. It's important to do this because it gets you off the crazy cycle of roller coaster real estate, which is you lead generate, you get business, and then you work that business and you're not lead generating, and then you have to lead generate again, and then you work that business, and it's this up and down. And the sooner that you position yourself to have a pipeline that's full, because you're consistently taking time every single day to do lead generation specific activities, the sooner you can check out and off of that crazy roller coaster ride and have predictable business. Now, pause. Predictable business in real estate. What I would say is sometimes agents walk around bragging like, oh, I've got 2,000 people in my database. Who cares? Because ultimately, your number matters. Yes, you need to be systematically talking to them and touching to them like we're going to talk about. But the pipeline is predictable business in the next couple of months. I can tell you if you're going to survive in real estate or not. Show me your pipeline. How many people have said, raised their hand or kind of given you an indication that they're going to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the next 6 to 12 months or less? Those are the people that go on your pipeline. And on our team, we just have a simple Google sheet. It's just a simple document, name, contact, when we talk to them, when they think they're going to list, what their payoff is, and then we put them onto our listing checklist or buyer checklist. So pipeline is different than your database. All right. So real estate, it's all about numbers and it's a contact sport. Making calls through phone calls and visits to ask for business. Now there's marketing-based opportunities as well, which are the letters, the postcards, the emails, the personal notes, the newsletters, the reports that are sent purposefully and systematically to establish mind share. You need both. However, if you're new in real estate, or if you're kind of short on some funds right now, then marketing is probably not going to be the thing you want to focus on, because it's the most expensive. It's going to be the prospecting, and that's calling, texting, liking, sharing on Facebook on purpose. And then once you generate some business and you're putting money aside, then you can go into the letters, postcards, emails, personal notes. And like I said, don't overthink it. Just go to the Dollar Tree, dollar store, grab a chunk of note cards, pop a business card in, 2-3 lines max, and that's not going to cost you a whole lot other than postage. So how do you use systematic tools to stay in contact with your clients? Well, everything that we're talking about is in this book, and it's just broken down into kind of some simple terms. The first one is the 8x8. This is when we meet, and you got to cement the relationship with this person because they've been a stranger up until this point. So we're going to talk about what those strategic things could be. And then you put them into that 33 touch, which, don't be overwhelmed by it. It sounds like a lot, but it's really not. Because when you think about it, you're going to be an overachiever here. Trust me. When you're doing this, you want to set aside time and you want to be purposeful in it. And what I mean by that is you grab your phone and you say, hey Siri, set a timer. Hey Siri, set a timer for 30 minutes.
Okay, 30 minutes and counting.
Okay, I turn off the notifications on my phone. I can even tuck this away and shove it under the pillow if I need to, so I'm not distracted. I turn all the other browsers and minimize everything so that all I'm doing is very specific. I'm looking for new business right now for the next 30 minutes. I'm going to go and like 5 people's things on Facebook. I'm going to go to Facebook and I'm going to say, man, this person interacts with me a lot. Are they in my database? Look into the database. If they're not, go stalk them, find their address, get their email, phone number, look through your phone, and then start adding these people into your database so that you are actively growing and feeding your database every single day. The other way is you can jump on social media and go make some friends on purpose on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a great place to go and see people's resumes, financial planners, estate planners, divorce attorneys, you name it. These are the people that you want to go and get into relationship with. It's got to be on purpose though. So the next activities are previewing homes. You got to be out there actually doing activities, following COVID guidelines. Obviously right now, we aren't able in Washington State to hold open houses right now, and we can still do virtual open houses. So go do that. Go preview a property and take a picture and post it and go, hey, this is a beautiful view from this property. Are you thinking of buying or selling real estate? Call me. So you want to be purposeful and time blocked in the activity, and no one's getting through to you during that time. You get your note cards, you get the pen ready, you get your stamps. You're being very purposeful about growing your business and growing your database during that time block. Now, when you go to do the 8x8, the 8x8 is called the 8x8 because what they did is they went and they created a fictitious real estate agent. They literally grabbed someone's photo and they created a fake agent. And they surveyed this neighborhood and said, is there a neighborhood expert who lives around here or that markets this neighborhood on a regular basis? And there was no consistent pattern to a particular agent. So they started specifically following this pattern. And after 8 weeks, they went and surveyed the same people again. And they said, is there an agent that's an expert in this area? And wouldn't you know it, it was the fake agent. And it was because they had followed this pattern. first one is you drop off a letter of introduction. Now you can't read the screen. It's super like garbled, and don't worry. I'm going to upload in our chat before we're done the packet that you can download for free, and you'll have all of this that's actually legible. Okay. First one though is that you drop off a letter of introduction or a brochure or a little market report and a business card. 2, you send a community calendar, a market stat or recipe card, or a personalized note card. 3, same as week 2, but you choose a different option for the mailing piece. And then 4, you call them. And then it walks you through what the steps are. And if you follow this, you've taken a stranger and then brought them in and cemented the relationship into your network. Now, when you mail something to someone, you should be putting time on your calendar to do a follow-up call, because that's going to really strengthen the impact of whatever it is you put a stamp on. So when you send out just listed postcards or the gratitude card that we talked about for Thanksgiving, send it out now so that you can make your calls next week, and it will just solidify the relationship even further because you did a follow-up call. All right, so you're going to be given a sample, and then you'll be given a blank so that you can build out your own 8x8. Same goes for the 33 touch. We now call it 36 touch. And it's an action plan that is, quote, overkill, overtime approach that will ensure that year-round you are in contact with your Mets. And it means that never having to worry that your network is going to forget about you, or that some other agent is going to come and take that mind share from you. And so here's an example. So there's letters and cards, and then there's a brochure, and there's newsletters and recipe cards, property alerts, a thinking of you card, a birthday card, a house anniversary card. If you haven't sent a house anniversary card and celebrated somebody's house anniversary in a while, that's not a weird thing for you to do as a real estate agent. On the pivotal ones, like 1 year, 5 year, 10 year, 15 year, we actually get a little mini cupcake, put the number 5, balloons, and show up at the door like Ed McMahon and celebrate their house anniversary. You're their real estate agent. You should be tracking these numbers. And if you're not, it's okay. Start doing it now. Celebrate people's house anniversaries. And in our database in Command, there's actually a house anniversary section, and it will prompt you beforehand and say, hey, John's house anniversary is coming up. Make sure to celebrate and acknowledge it. Now the plan is yours to go and build and personalize. However, your database needs to get at least 3 or 4 calls a year. And you don't want to skip this step. If you do, then all the other things kind of lose their power and their impact. People have to hear your voice. And I know we get busy, distracted with the real estate day-to-day business. And you know what happened? I hadn't talked with a client in a while. And one day I was like, I've got to call. So I did. And I said, hi, Sherry, it's Rebecca. How's it going? And she said, well, I'm doing okay. And I said, how are things? And she said, well, Pete passed away. And I thought, man, I was so out of touch that I didn't even realize that she had lost her husband. And so we're looking for opportunities to give back and to come from contribution. And the way we do that is with voice-to-voice conversations. I realize so many people text, and that's great. A text that goes back and forth at least 3 or 4 times, maybe that's almost like a voice-to-voice. And don't skip the calls. Be a giver. Come from contribution. Give, follow up. Give more, follow up. Receive, give back. What I mean by this is when you're talking to people, you can hear what they need without them even telling you what they need. When someone's overwhelmed and, you know, it's like, oh my gosh, there's so much snow and I just don't know, my back is bad. Find someone, hire someone to go shovel snow. That has nothing to do with real estate. And don't ask for anything. Come from contribution. Look for opportunities to surprise and delight people just because. And I'll tell you that snow shoveling could absolutely predict a real estate referral or solidify the relationship so that if ever that person needs to sell their home, they're going to call you first. You hear a mom that's overwhelmed, send a free meal prep from HelloFresh, you know, or here's this fun cookie Christmas project for the kids to keep them busy. Listen to what people are saying that they're not saying, and then meet that need and watch what happens to your real estate business. You know, many times I hear people say like, oh, that was a bad lead, or, oh, that wasn't that strong of a lead. Shame on us for even using that word. Every single lead is a human being that's breathing. If they're not going to buy or sell with you right now, it's not today. It doesn't mean that they're not going to do something or not going to go out tomorrow and hear someone that might need a real estate agent. There's no such thing as a bad lead. Everyone you meet goes into your database. And unless they call you and say, take me off your list, I'm going to adopt you into my world. And I'm going to love on you, whether you like it or not, or you die, or you call me and tell me to knock it off. Get personal. Anchor a mental association of your name and your face in everything that you do. So make sure that there's branding, and the telephone calls, the pop buys, and the face-to-face interactions, which right now because of COVID we're very limited, but you can do a lot of porch drop-off type activities and still from a distance love on your people. And you don't have to do it with everyone. You can have VIPs within your group like we talked about. And that's ultimately what you want, right? Is that even if it was just those 5 people that are your core advocates, they should probably be getting something from you for Thanksgiving. Even if it's just a simple phone call to say, thank you, I'm grateful for you. Whenever possible, you want to put this plan on autopilot. And so using KW Command or whatever database system you use, or using a Google Calendar, you want to have those automation kind of prompts that this is something that's needing to happen on a regular basis. Keep it simple, salesperson. They need to be touched, not bedazzled. All right, so this was kind of an aha moment, and it was, think about the car salesman that just is a one and done, right? He sells you the car and then you never hear from him again. You don't want to be that kind of real estate agent. Statistics show that people would have worked with you again. It was because you didn't follow up with them and you didn't send something or reach out to them on a consistent basis for them to remember your name. And what happens? It's lost business. It's hundreds of thousands of dollars lost because you just didn't take the time to put them onto this list and keep in touch with them on a regular basis. Now in your packet, we're not going to go over this in great detail because we're going to keep moving, but it does break down how to actually budget for the different types of things that you're going to be mailing out, and then for the types of things that we call the pop buys or the little gifts or things that you're going to offer to your clients. But it doesn't really cost a whole lot. So you're going to put together strategic strategies for each of these categories. And so here I wanted to show you a couple things with the Homekeeper app, because this is one that I absolutely love. Now, who with the raise your hands if you've ever heard of Angie's List. Angie's List, right? It's this trustworthy website that people have been vetted and they end up on Angie's List, right? And, okay, let me get out of here, over here, and I'm gonna show you right there. And I'm gonna drop it in the chat, and then I'm gonna log in so that you guys can see what it is I'm talking about. Okay, so in the chat, it's the Homekeeper link. If you're with Keller Williams, this is a free tool. If you're not with Keller Williams, join Keller Williams and ask me how. If you're not with Keller Williams, you can pay for this tool. It's a good one. And it's super cool. It's an app on your phone and it's so easy. I'm in it constantly, multiple times a day, because people call me all the time and ask me, do you know blank? And the answer is yes. Always. You want to be the person. Do you know a good pediatrician? Do you know a good hairstylist? It has nothing to do with real estate and everything to do with real estate. You want to be the one that's so well connected. So I just click in here, click on my directory, and these are all the people and all the categories of accountants, appliance servicers, architects, art studio, attorneys, auto body, auto detailing, bowling, brick cleaning, brick repair, carpet cleaning. You get it. Central vac system specialists, cleaning services, closets, drywall specialists, electricians. All those things are here on my directory of people that I've personally added into this list so that then I can confidently refer my clients to them. And that's what you want. You always want your clients coming to you, asking you, who do you know? Okay. So I'm going to log in and show you what it looks like when I log into Homekeeper. So what's cool about Homekeeper is they actually have a couple of bonus things that they offer to us. And okay, on the screen, let me see. Thumbs up, can you see it says my dashboard in red? Okay, cool, thanks. So here, what they'll actually do is they create this landing page that's branded to you, and people can click in and opt in to get a part of your directory. Vendors can also click and say, hey, I want to be added to your favorites list. Pick me, pick me. And then there's some really cool stuff that they offer under marketing. They'll actually take your picture once you upload it and issue or create and issue all these different PDF or PNG options that are branded to you. I haven't done any of this. It was all there, automatically done for me. I download it and I can post it to my Facebook business page. Now, you can also subscribe, and it shows this is a closing follow-up. So settle in, and then when you need a painter, plumber, landscaper, my list of top contractors and local businesses is here. Just download it for free, and then you've got access to my favorites list. The other thing that they do is they actually go and create content and write a blog that's specific about real estate. Like right now, this week, the post was smart vents. And it was a part of being a smart home is that smart vents will actually know when to turn on and turn themselves off. And then it's always seasonal and relatable. They've done very specific things through COVID as well, but it's a really great already generated content that you can go and set up to automatically post to your Facebook business page feed. And it looks like you just blogged on the topic. And so that one is super cool. Now, when you go into the vendors part and you're like, well, Rebecca, I don't know who to call, or I don't know, where do I even begin? It's kind of a no-brainer, you guys. Look at the screen. Do you have a chimney specialist? Do you have an electrician? Do you have an exterminator? Do you have gutter services? Do you have an HVAC specialist? And then landscaper, painter, plumber. All of the things are here, and they just keep going and going and going. So don't get overwhelmed. Just pick 5, right? Just pick 5. And moving company. What's a moving checklist? Moving truck rentals, mulch delivery, musicians, therapists, nutrition, office buildings. It's everything to do with everything is on this, and you should get familiar and just do 5 at a time. And then you just call the plumber and you say, hey, in my line of work, people are always asking me for a trustworthy and reputable plumber. I'd like to add you to my favorites list. Who's your ideal client? How far north will you go? How far south will you go? Do you charge any kind of fee to come and give a bid for, or an estimate of any kind? No? Okay, great. Hey, I'd love to add you to my favorites list. What's your email address? And then once you get their email address, I'll show you what happens here. You get their email, first and last name. You go and you put their information here into the My Vendors information. And then let me show you. it auto-populates and makes it super simple for you. So here, I could say, I want to go and invite this person to my network, right? My Homekeeper network. And it automatically auto-populated this email. I didn't do anything at all. It's already in the system. It says, hey, just a quick note to let you know that I'm recommending your sewer repair. And it's because I created a free profile for you. Claim your free profile. Click here. What's Homekeeper? It's real referrals from real people. Now, if you don't like some of the wording, you can go in and, you know, just go in and edit and take out whatever it is and change up the wording of it and then hit save and then send. And this has been a game changer for creating your own Angie's list, right? To then add value to the business-to-business relationships, the allied resources, the core advocates, as well as to your clients on the buy side and the sell side of the transaction and even after closing. And then, if you know me, you know I love to stalk people. It tells you who used the app and how frequently and what they clicked on. It is so sneaky. So I can actually know that Trisha logged in the app and clicked on bathroom remodeler, and then she clicked on kitchen remodeler, and so then I know. So then I can be like, hey, what's going on over there? You got any projects happening? And then you get the feedback. Then you go bring value to that, you know, kitchen remodeler and take a picture of the before and after pictures and drop it on their business page that says, hey, you know, this is an amazing contractor that just helped clients of ours. So anyway, I love Homekeeper, and I love that Homekeeper's free because if you know me, I'm super frugal. So use Homekeeper to kind of come from contribution, warm up to the idea of bringing value to local businesses. And especially right now, you guys, especially right now during COVID and the limited things that we are having to navigate as small business owners, how amazing is that going to be to local small business owners in your town right now? Super cool. All right. We're almost done. Let me find my slides. Slides, come back. Okay, here we go. Share screen. There are my slides. From current slide. Thumbs up, can you see that? How to Network is on the screen. Cool, thank you. All right, so we talked about all this, how to educate them on how to communicate your value proposition to your vendors, and then you just tell them, like, hey, I can't wait to send business your way. Don't be that agent that asks for something from them right off the bat. That's rude, in my opinion. Like, they don't know me. They have no reason to trust me or even like me right now. However, if I say, hey, I'd like to add you to my Homekeeper list, I'm excited to send business your way. And then next week I have a reminder that I'm going to like their business page. I'm going to link them on LinkedIn. I'm going to send them a handwritten note card with a chunk of business cards. I'm going to do a follow-up call, and I'm actually going to go find someone to refer to them. How powerful is it going to be then for me to follow up and be like, hey, Patty, thanks so much for being a carpet cleaner my clients can trust. I saw the pictures of before and after for the Smiths, and they raved about you. And then I go on her business page and I rave about her. Then the next time I follow up, it's not going to be weird for me to say, hey, Patty, you know, I've sent you 3 different pieces of business over the last month. And I know you've got, 10 agents that you know in the business. I want to work my way up the list. So next time you hear of someone that's interviewing or needing a real estate agent, would you put my name in the hat? I'd really love a chance to interview. Everyone knows at least 8 to 10,000 jillion real estate agents. So say it out loud and just go, look, I just want to work my way up that list. How do I do that? Like, I sent you 3 referrals already. If I'm coming from contribution and legitimately wanting to help other small businesses, I'm not going to feel weird asking for that referral. So advocates are the raving fans. And then your core advocates are those people who really are going to be in deep relationship with you. And so you've got to go and train your people and educate them on how to send you referrals. And you reward the behavior, not the results. So for instance, Ray says, hey, my sister-in-law just mentioned they're going to sell their house, and I mentioned your name to them, and I'm like, thanks so much, Ray, that really means a lot. Instantly behind the scenes, I've emailed my assistant. We've got a personalized cookie that goes in the mail that says thank you, and it's a big happy sunshine or whatever. Ray's going to get a cookie from me in the mail in the next 2 days. Doesn't matter if his sister ever calls me. He put his name to me. So you educate and reward the behavior. Then on your listing checklist, on your closing checklist, on our team's checklist, we have a prompt. The second we go on market, the second we have an offer accepted, the second that the appraisal comes in at value, you always call or text and thank the referrer. You actually treat the referrer better than the referral, because those are the people that took risk and put their name to you. You educate, you ask for the referral business, and then you reward the behavior. And this is straight out of this book. If you have a book like this, turn to page 141. It says, repeat these 3 simple steps over and over and over. Treat the refer source better than the referral. Always show appreciation at every point. When you take the referral call, when you meet the referral, when you do business with the referral, when the transaction is complete. There are the 5 systems of referrals and the 3 principles of referrals, and it's all there on page 141. Write down page 141 of the Red Book, okay? Scripts and everything are going to be in your packet. And we've got well, we talked about that already. Okay, so I'm going to open it up for any questions. What I would love to hear, though, you guys, is have you learned anything? If you have, drop it in the chat. What's one thing that you've heard that was just a little bit different, or something that you could take action on in the next 24 hours? Because we know that if you pick one thing, you can't say, oh, there's 10 new things. You got to pick one. What's one thing that you know if you go do in the next 24 hours, it's going to move your business forward? What would that?
Contact more businesses.
Contact small businesses. Thanks, Ray. That's a big one. And you're going to feel so much better after it too. Yeah. Right? It's going to get it's going to get you happy. It's going to increase your joy. You're going to go, look, I'm worthy of referrals because I'm going out and I legitimately want to serve my community well. I love that. Thanks, Ray. So in the next 24 hours, what's one thing you're going to do to be able to connect with small businesses, Ray?
Pick up my phone. Actually, I sold other things before, so I have a lot of business contacts.
Okay.
So,
and so in the next 24 hours, what would a reasonable amount of calls or contacts be, do you think? How many people, how many?
8 to 10.
Yeah, I would agree. That's a good number. And how will I know that you made those 8 to 10 calls?
It'll be in my database.
Cool. And then you could screenshot or take a picture and text it to me and say, hey, Rebecca, I did what I said I would. That's the ticket, is that if you leave this class and it's just another, it's just another workshop or just another class, you're probably going to retain what? 1.75% of the the content we talked about today. It's taking action as fast as you can that's going to help grow your business. So we've got some chat. Treat the refer even better than the client. Thanks, Becky. Contact business contacts and the Homekeeper app. Love it. House anniversary cards, getting my list together right now. Yeah, absolutely. And you don't, that's anyone and everyone. We'd call them orphan buyers when we're the listing agent and sell a home. And the other agent on the other side was kind of a sloppy agent, and I know they're not going to follow up. We just adopt their clients and we celebrate and acknowledge their house anniversaries as well. And I go, hey, I was the listing agent when you bought that house 5 years ago, and congratulations, happy house anniversary. So you can adopt buyers. We call them orphan buyers. Start using the Homekeeper app. Homekeeper, great value add, no more Google Sheet. I'm going to contact a good allied resource I've sent a lot of business to and ask how I can get on his list of referrals. I like that. Now, this is year end. So, Katie, it would not be weird. Like, this would not be weird at all. You can blame it on me. You can say, I was in this class. This crazy girl told me to do this activity where I have to go back and I've got to track. And you know what's crazy? I actually sent you 9 referrals this year. How cool is that? Thank you for being someone I can trust and send 9 pieces of business to. Can you beat that next year for me? How do I get on that list of yours? That's not going to feel weird because Katie has already been investing in that relationship. So now all of a sudden you've got 5 people that you can count on for 10 referrals each. Watch out 2021, right? So that's a good one. Kate says more, nothing to do with real estate, everything to do with real estate. So yeah, you just want to be that person that knows everyone and is connected with everyone, and it has nothing to do with real estate sometimes. And hear what people are needing and do that little bit of extra surprise and delight. It will bring about business, you guys. My husband, Mike, he's a bigger guy. We live in a neighborhood of older people. I think we're probably some of the youngest that live in the area. We love it. However, there's a lot of little ladies that need muscle man to go and help move things around. And when that happens, what happens? It's human nature. It's human nature to want to reciprocate. So if she then goes and makes a bunch of cookies or says, oh, Mike, how could I ever thank you? You go, you know what? All we ask for is that when you overhear someone talking anything to do with real estate, stop, grab a business card and say, oh my gosh, we've got these people. They're amazing. You got to call them anything to do with real estate. Here they are. That's it. That's the best way that you can thank me and still take the cookies. But that you just say, and we love referrals. That's the best way to say thanks. So, all right, cool. Cindy says, I have my Homekeeper app set up, focus business contacts for, okay. Hands in the air if you're with Keller Williams. You're with Keller Williams. There is an integration coming between Homekeeper and Command. So I was hesitating because I was like, man, I love my Homekeeper. You're not going to have to give it up. Just understand that there is going to be an integration within Command that the two will eventually get along. So don't hesitate to build out that Homekeeper directory. And right? Yeah, I was super excited when I heard that too. So, okay. Any other questions for me? Otherwise, we got to run. Questions? Anything life in real estate? Awkward Zoom silence. All right. Well,
thank you.
Thanks so much for jumping on. We've got a bunch of classes. If you guys, oh, wait, hold me accountable. Shoot, you want the packet.
How do we find out about those?
Okay, watch. Thank you. Don't go anywhere because you need your packet. Don't go anywhere. Okay.
I have a quick question too. I see that it's recording. Are we going to have access to the recording?
Sure, if you want it.
Yes, please. I'd like to rewatch.
Oh, learning-based individual. You're speaking my love language. I watch it back too because I watch it back as a student different than the instructor. I love that. Okay. Now, before we leave then, I just uploaded the full student packet. It's a PDF and it should have showed up in the chat box. Can you guys nod your head and tell me that it's there. Sweet. Okay. And then, wait, I just forgot because I was talking. What was I going to upload? The packet.
The recording of the class?
No, what we were just talking about. Yep, it's gone.
It was how to find out about the other classes.
Thank you. Thank you. Like, come on. I'm like, okay, here, let me grab the link real fast. So what we do is we show up on our teaching site, which is here, and I'm grabbing the link right now to drop it in our chat box. So every month I'll go and I'm teaching all of the Keller Williams curriculum. I just did this morning the Grow Your Profit Share Tree class. We're doing the next one, Goal Setting Made Simple class. These are 3 to 4 hour Keller Williams University courses that we're shoving into like an hour and a bit, right? And so we can't do all of it in detail. And it's enough to get it's enough to get everything going so that you go, oh no, I can do this. I can go take some action. So I dropped the link to our teaching page where then the Eventbrite links are found. And as always, we love your referrals, and I love teaching. This is the best way to learn. And it's been good to see all of your smiling faces today. So if you need anything, you can email me anytime. I'll drop my email in the chat box. You probably already have that though, because you got the link for this thing. So we're good. Okay. Bye guys. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Bye.
Take care. Be safe.
Thank you.
Healthy.